Hello. What's going on? Good afternoon. Figured I'd stop by and say hello. Nothing like too major. We're still in the same exact setups that we were. I'll talk about some of the worst case scenarios just in case we do happen to continue going down, but besides that, just chill stream today. Go and switch over.
I got the camera working today. I think my lens. Where would I put it? This was my favorite lens, and I think I ruined it. I have a really bad habit of whenever I go off stream, I don't turn my camera off. So I think the autofocus just got worn out. Unfortunate, but luckily it's a cheaper lens. You know, like the Sonys and stuff, they sell like those G classes or whatever it is. That's like $2,000. I think this was like maybe $300 for a 1.4 aperture. It is what it is. But we got the same thing. Oh, double audio? I see. That should have fixed it. My bad. What's going on, Trevor, Misa, Toot, Jay-Z, Crypto Junkie, JK, AV, Carlos? Oh, I know there's no image yet. I had it working just a second ago. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can fix that. 1 minute. Uno momento. There we go. Cool. We hear the wrong one. Hello, check. It should be working, right? Oh, shoot. I don't know what happened. We had everything set up fine the other day. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, what about now? Check. Are we good? I'll go ahead and mute that one. I don't know why that happened. What's going on, everybody? Is it windy in your room? Yeah, that's my air conditioner. That's the perks of having a power chugging machine next to you all day. Regular AC does not do it justice. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. So I'm still in the same trades from the other day. We've gotten knocked out of the ETH trade just a couple times. I think 2 or 3 times off of this top right here. So I got wicked out here, and I think I got wicked out there because my entry was a little bit higher. But we're still in it at the moment. Might not last. On the smaller time frames, we do have an ABC structure kind of in our way. I did not hedge that just because right now I'm focusing on the long positions. That's my choice. Obviously, if you want to take those ABC shorts, by all means, they're there. It's just that one's too small for me to take. I'd rather go with the larger structure here. And if we do happen to come back down a little bit further on BTC, it would be looking like an ABCA and then a ABCC situation. So let me go and remove some of the drawings here. So this would all turn into a singular trend. This would have been the break to the upside. And then we have one more. So I'll be treating it the same exact way. If we do happen to put in a lower low on BTC, I'll be putting in 25% margin there. And then if we get back above this level, I'll be putting in the 75% margin. Just changing up things slightly differently because this one was a smaller structure. And if we do happen to make a larger one, that's going to be the more significant that takes priority. Like I said, in terms of the macro view of things, I'm pretty bullish across the board. US 100's looking good. SPY's looking good. Like I said, I once again was always expecting downside price action, even coming from here. Obviously, we got hurt doing that. I do think there's probably going to be 1, 2, 3 more months of price action moving sideways, and then gradual movements up. I do think it's going to be fast, aggressive blast to the upside, and then sideways, and then continuation from there. So there is going to be a lot of moments of hesitation across the board for many people as we're kind of gradually moving to the upside. People are going to think we're going to be losing steam. They're going to get out. It's going to go up more. It's going to be a process. Like I said, it's going to be a very, very long, arduous journey throughout this bear market. What do you mean with margin? So with the BTC and Ethereum trade, let's say I have 21,600 USDT or contracts. I'm going to be putting in 25% of them on the first setup, 75% on the rest. So basically it's going to DCA me into an entry. We talked about this on last live stream, where I don't believe DCAing is appropriate for leverage trading if done inappropriately. So essentially, if you have someone that is in a losing trade, say, they don't put a stop loss, they want to make sure that they can make profit back as quickly as possible. So what would they do? They'll go ahead and they'll get into another long trade as price is dropping. That will move their average entry down, and they'll make it so that if the market does come back up, they'll get back into profit faster. And if the market continues to go up, they'll make more profit. What I'm doing here is not chasing the profit side of things, and I'm doing it completely opposite. Instead of not having any setup at all, and I'm just taking the trade because the market's moving against me, I'm waiting for 2 separate setups that we can combine together into one whole trade, getting an early start on the first, and then combining it in with the rest of the margin on the second, once we have a little bit more security that the market wants to move in that direction. So on Ethereum so far, it has worked out that way. We're coming back down to retest those local lows. It might work against our favor, which is unfortunate, but it was worth a shot. That's how everything is in trading. There's nothing like, if you think that there's always going to be a perfect trade every single time, you're mistaken. There's going to be really, really good times in the market for certain strategies and really, really bad times. And unfortunately, this last push to the upside was one of those unfortunate times. Hey dude, haven't seen you in a while. How's the account doing? We're at about 3,400. Now, I did withdraw 1,000 to help someone out, so we're sitting at 2,400. But I'm always going to add that 1,000 back in. The way I look at it is, 1, I'm helping somebody else out, and 2, it's basically securing profit no matter what. Basically, every single dollar we make from here on out is free money without the risk of losing the initial investment. Now, like I said, I don't really like to do that because, 1, you're hindering your performance. Basically, if you were making $600 on a really good trade, you're going to be making only 2/3 of that now because you have to adjust your margin appropriately. But it's up to the individual. Some people like to play it a little bit safer. I shaved today, so I'm still trying to like pull my beard. I had to make sure I looked at least somewhat decent for camera today. I didn't look like some caveman to come out the woodworks. Because it was there. It was. Still need a haircut, but we're getting there. Trevor, salud. I shorted BTC at 25,120. 25,120. The very, very tippy top here? No, I see why you did it. Me personally, I still stuck to these major local highs here. But I mean, hey,
it was an ABC setup, and if you were looking at it as, okay, we have a larger ABC here, I'm probably in the C wave, I can probably come over here and find, I mean, it's not too much different than if you would have just taken this top entry here. So I mean, hey, more power to you. I wouldn't say that's degen. Oh, you did it at 100x leverage. Was that 100x leverage using the calculator, making sure that it's 100x leverage, but it's actually safe? Because if not, okay, we're entering degen territory there. Where am I from? I'm from the East Coast of the United States. $1% margin, $15. Okay, so it sounds like you're doing it the safe way. It's 100x leverage, but it's just for show. Those days will happen again. It's all in due time. I've been just doing some life assessment, trying to like be smarter, and because you know, like when you get into severe slumps like I have been, it really puts a lot of stuff in perspective. So on Sunday, I'm going to see what appraisal I can get on my car and downsize, because I'm just not, I don't drive the car enough, and I just don't see the point. I'm gonna start, you know, getting some stuff more tidy, including me. I'll be streaming a lot more often. I'm just gonna try my best to like optimize things. No point in sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna be on the 5-second chart taking scalps that are absolutely treacherous. Don't get me wrong, but I'll be a lot more active, making sure I'm putting more thought and oomph behind my decisions. What do you think about SMC or ICT? Are those altcoins? Yeah, I saw a quote somewhere. It was like Warren Buffett. It was like, when a young man buys a sports car, there's 2 happiest days of his life: the day he bought it and the day he sold it. And I'm getting to that point. Is anyone long here? I'm long. Hey Kite, where did you get your 19,711 entry? This one right here. So we had the larger structure on BTC, and then on the smaller time frames there was a minute structure, and then it kind of got lost in the sauce because we are moving sideways here, but it's right here. So this is using 25% of the margin I would typically use on a trade. And then if we ever get back above this, I'm going to be inserting the other 75%. So I would never put in full margin on a setup like this. This is just way too small. But in combination with a DCA, it can help you get a head start. In your opinion, what is an ABC's win rate? I would say on average over like a year, it would probably be somewhere around 20%. But right now, the past couple of months, it's been low. It's been like anywhere from 12 to 15%. Right now, we're pretty much just holding steady in the market, which is unfortunate. we had a huge win coming out of the last major drop. And then unfortunately I did not catch the second, even though we had an available ABC there. Dropped the ball on that one. But we caught this ABC pretty much all the way down to about 27,000, 26,000. And we made a lot of money. And then we missed this one. So right now I am playing Inverse Perpetual, so our account got drained on this drop. So right now, just sitting at $3,400 from $1,000 that we started all the way back here. DXY mooning, buddy. You should have never been in longs this week. It is what it is. I see it set up, I take the setup. I'm not basing it off of anything else. And if I did get stopped out, it's not a bad thing. I get stopped out all the time. That's why we use good risk. Anyways, I'm using a fourth. Except for Ethereum. Ethereum got triggered. Alright, while you were gone, shorted BTC with 67x leverage, and I was on profit, $17,000. Didn't take profit, ended up getting liquidated. You were up 17 grand? That's, you're playing a little bit too fast and loose there, buddy. Well, that's the thing. It's the leverage is not what matters. Now, obviously, when you're talking to most people, the leverage matters. But anybody from this group should be using the calculator. So, I mean, you can be using 50x leverage safely. It just means that you're using less margin. And probably a tighter stop loss. That's all. No LTC trade. Nope, just focusing on BTC and ETH for now. Man, we have been down here for 2 months. Someone tell how Matic is holding up so well during all this. Look at Matic. That's doing well. I mean, all things granted, it is down quite a bit. Looks like we're having a little bit of a retest here. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, why did you stop using a 0.5% stop loss? Just trial and error. Seeing what's best. Trying to balance, being an example and what's best for the account. Like I said, no matter what I do and what I say, people will always come into the chat, come into the group, Discord and stuff, and they will copy every single little thing that I do, and not do what's best for them. like I said, everybody has a different lifestyle. If you have a full-time job, kids, whatever it might be, you don't have full time to dedicate to these small stops, you're gonna have to go larger. And right now, my life has been kind of a little bit more chillaxed from the charts because we are just moving sideways. It's a bear market. No real reason to like overdo things, because if you mess it up right now, because we have a lot of time, guys. We have like 3 years to get things going. So, I mean, there's no rush right now. Take things methodical. Make sure you're doing the best thing. Make sure you don't wreck it now, because we're pretty much close to bottom. If this is not bottom, we are close to it. But don't mess it up right now. Leverage is not the problem, question mark. For the average trader it is. Correct. It might not be for the pro that uses leverage. That is true. Alright. That is true, Desmos. But that's the thing. If you're in this channel, you really don't have an excuse for being dumb with leverage. What time frames are suitable for ABC? I would say like 30-minute and above, preferably the 1 hour to 2 hour. The whole thing is you want to be able to force your perspective in the beginning, because most people have a problem where like over time, the longer that they stare at charts, they'll slightly zoom in every so often, and then eventually you're just ending up on super small time frames, even though you might have your thing locked to 1 hour. Because if you're on a 1 hour time frame and your chart still looks like this, then what's the point? Now you're just limiting yourself 2 ways. 1, your perspective's small, and 2, for that perspective, you don't have any detail. So it's just trying to look like, you know, whatchamacallit, like a 720p image enlarged. Just a blur. Top stars, what's going on, man? Lenny Bags? Jada, what's going on? But my rule of thumb, I'm using a 4K monitor here. My rule of thumb is whatever time frame that I'm on, I need to be like fully zoomed out to where there is no more zoom out. So from this perspective, I can see what I need to see. So I can go through here and look for any setups that I can possibly see from this higher time frame. So at the bottom here, we see boom, boom, boom. And then up here towards this top, we see uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, and then a little setup within that. I mean, that could have been 2 different short entries. And then we can look at what's forming. This is the most important part. This is what, like, the comments that I get on YouTube videos that annoy me the most are the people that, like, oh, woe is me. Like, how are you supposed to predict an ABC? And I'm like, first off, it's very simple. All right. You just have to pay attention. All right. You look right here. We have a downtrend. We have an uptrend. All right. What else needs to happen to make an ABC? It's not that difficult. It doesn't require that much mind power to see that, okay, if the market goes down, that's an ABC. So as soon as you get a lower low here, it triggers. And then if we come back above, you enter. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of comments on my ABC tutorial video that goes, oh, you make it sound so easy in the past, you know, but what about real time? It's much, much more difficult. No, the only thing that is much more difficult in real time is managing your emotions and, number 1, your expectations of what's going to work. If you go into this thinking that every single ABC that is formed is going to work in your favor, you're sorely mistaken. I'll be the first one to tell you, like I said, 15 to 20% win ratio. Right now, win ratio is in the gutter just because of the way the market's acting. Sometimes it's fantastic, sometimes it's terrible. And usually those months, you know, are compacted together. So you'll have a couple terrible months, a couple good months. That's why when you are starting to get in a rut, make sure that the revenge trading and getting angry at the market and going blah, 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 this doesn't work, blah, 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 and then throwing money at something, that's when people start to lose the most. Because 1, you've been using a strategy for so long,
that you become accustomed to it. And you might have come into that strategy when it was working absolutely fantastically. Maybe some of you guys are here from the $100,000 challenge, where like we were just taking trades after trades after trades and seeing like everything used to work. But right now it's not. So you become accustomed to this, you learn how to use it correctly, you know exactly what to do, and then it starts working, it stops working for a couple of months. And we still have hit some good trades here, not enough to really make up for what we've lost, but we're still kind of in a balancing act where we're not losing incredible amounts of money and we're not gaining incredible amounts of money. It's a balancing act, which is at this moment in time much better than what most people are actually honestly doing. I can be the first one to say that. So you're going to go and you're going to go try to find another strategy that claims it's the greatest out there. You're probably going to find some person shouting it from the rooftops. And then you're going to go use it. You're going to have the same problem, but that first initial couple of days, maybe a week or so that you're using it, you're going to have a confidence boost because you have this new strategy that nobody knows about. And then you're going to lose more money. And then that one's not going to work. Because right now, it's just a bad time overall. So it's about perseverance. That's all it is. What mic am I using? This is the KU5A by AEA. It's a mouthful. How do you take an account to 6 figures during the bull run? That's magical. So it wasn't even with ABCs. It was just with breakout trades. So once we broke the all-time high, that pretty much signaled that the bull market was in. So anytime that the market went up and then put in a new top, I would wait. It was basically like a backwards ABC. Basically, once we put in the A and the B, I would wait till the C came above the A and basically just flipped it on its head. So I would set up my entry here, my stop loss down here. And then if we went up, this is the number one thing. I would not take profits early. All right. I didn't have a set take profit anywhere. What I would let the market do is go up as much as it wants to. And then I would let it have a deep retrace, signaling that that was a new resistance, not just a momentary one on a small time frame, but a new resistance to actually watch. And then once the market got back up to that resistance, I would take my profit from this trade and then I would do it all over again. And I just kept doing that until it really started to run out of steam and I could tell that the market wasn't going to work in that way anymore. Let's go back to BTC. And that started to happen like around this point right here. It's like once we started to see some of this, where like it just kept going back over and under. That's why I knew like, okay, we're starting to see a lot more changes. And that's when I did some reading on Ian Copsley's book and started playing more ABC structures. I was playing it back here, but not in the same way. I was playing it more relative to Elliott Wave and just looking for ABC corrections and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tops. But then once I got into just pure ABC method, that's why I started looking for these. And then even looking at the upside as them as well. I'm still on my friend's chart. Isaiah, I'm so sorry. I keep messing up his chart. I bet he's mad. Do you have any recommendations for budget mics sub 500? The AKG C214 is a really, really good condenser microphone. If you have a well-treated space, I think nowadays it's probably going for like $300, maybe even less, if you get it used. And then for a dynamic microphone, you can't go wrong with the SM7B if you have a less treated area and maybe even had multiple people talking all at the same time. This one is a ribbon microphone and it's a super cardioid ribbon microphone. So
it's kind of a mixture between a dynamic and a condenser in terms of like how directional it is. It still definitely is not the best at rejecting background noise. The only way I can get rid of background noise is through processing. But then again, you don't want to do that because it takes away from the voice if you are trying to do professional audio. Yeah, the Shure MV7 is a really good one. I have that one sitting right over there. And I plug it in from time to time just to get a little bit of more variety. It's called Going on Tilt Kite. Tell them about it. I mean, anybody that's played any first-person shooters probably knows what's going on Tilt or League of Legends. I know people get really mad at that. People cannot quit smoking. How will they manage their emotions? Dude, suck it up. Trial and error too. The best thing that you can hope for, because I know that that's until you make it a habit to brush the market off, you are going to have that problem. I did too. I lost a lot of money. But all you can really hope for is that you make at least a somewhat smart decision of using smaller risk. You can probably still get mad at the market, and yes, you still will make mistakes, but hopefully it's not as expensive. And hopefully the only thing that can really happen at that point is the time that you're in the market is extended. And the longer you're in here, the more you're going to realize that you're your own worst enemy. I mean, I've only been in this market for 5 years, 4 years, 4.5. In terms of like actually actively trading. I've been in Bitcoin for a very long time. But I mean, I have an excuse. I was a kid for the better part of it. I was a kid up until like maybe 2 years ago. Still am. Do you prefer HA candles than normal ones? Absolutely. Especially for ABCs, because one, it just allows you simply to identify trends a lot better. I mean, once you get to a certain point, you can identify trends even with regular candles, but I would say for a beginner, HA candles are still preferred. Do you maybe have any I already read that. My bad. It's been a while since I've seen a live stream. Looks like you're doing well, Kite. Thanks for the teaching. No problem, man. I appreciate you. Trying my best. Miko, what's going on, man? It's also good practice to take note of what you did wrong in all your L's so you learn from it. Yeah, I'm really bad about like logging. You know, I tried it for a while, tried putting in every single trade, and I like obviously like me saying that I recommend you do it is kind of like hypocritical. But I've always been a person that just doesn't like homework. Like I didn't do a single piece of homework since like 5th grade. But mine is just a lot of trial and error. I've had a lot of challenge accounts that just get wrecked. Usually just because of one, either I'm too eager to show off, especially in the early days because I was, you know, trying to get my YouTube off the ground, trying to make a name for myself. Thought I had people to impress, but the more that I went down the road, I really just don't care. At the end of the day, it's trading is such a personal thing. I have nobody to impress. But my L's lately have purely been from inattentiveness. Hard to say words.
I've just been absent mentally for the last couple of months. I don't know why, like I said, but we got a shovel now. You know, we're starting to dig. You know, when you're stuck in a rut and dig a tunnel, ain't no use trying to get back out of the same hole. Mr. Metaphor, what's going on? Kite, do you like the Zcash chart? Take a look. Oh. Let's look a little bit higher time frame. It looks good. I do like that structure. It's very similar to what BTC's got going on right now, but at the same time, I would say it's actually a little bit better too. We have this right here. So, I mean, what I like more importantly is that these two entries right here, they are two separate entries, but they're lining up. So, I mean, if we do get back above this level, that is a good buy. I caught a couple short time frame wins in a streak and just started to lose bigger and bigger once they stopped working. Well, you shouldn't be losing bigger and bigger. That is a problem. Because as your account dwindles, so does your risk. Because your risk is proportionate percentage-wise to what your account is currently. So if your account grows, you'll risk more, which is what people tend to have a problem with. Either one, when their account is dwindling, they don't want to risk less because they're like, I need to make back the money that I just lost. It will happen in time. Or you have the person that is afraid, and let's say they go from $1,000 to $2,000 on one win, and they were risking, $20. Now they need to risk $40. They go, now I'm going to lose double if I get stopped out such and such amount of times. Just keep it clean. If you really are having that problem, it just might speak to the fact that you might be risking too much. So instead of like 0.9%, you might be risking like 5% of your portfolio. And maybe like deep down, that the last couple of trades that you did were not systematic. They were just lucky. And you don't want to keep doing that, but yet somehow you can't fight the urge. You just gotta be honest with yourself when it's that. I mean, just learn from your mistakes, man. Learn from your mistakes. We've all been there. I've done it. There's no person alive that has not revenge traded. Unless for whatever reason you were born into a family of traders that your mom would whip you if you over risked on a trade on your little baby abacus, I just don't see it. I think everybody's done it. So. Someone was mentioning the DXY a lot. Let's take a look at him. Shy away. I mean, right off the bat, I truly hope that this is a nice ABC top. That would be enjoyable. It definitely looks like a deep cut too. We knocked out this last local high here. So the main thing to watch out for would probably be if we come back down below 109. We're in that vicinity. I mean, it's looking likely. Obviously, right now with us not being underneath this, the probability is not to the downside.
just like I was talking about in the breakout trades. I ain't gonna dismiss this and say that this is the opposite thing. Now, as long as we're back above this local high here, it is bad, all right, but it's a chance we're willing to take. We'll see if it pays off. Risk is low, value for reward is high. That's like the entire point of what we do. So with BTC sitting in an Adam and Eve formation, waiting to make that U shape, DXY lining up with an ABC top. I mean, even on the macro here, I don't wish for it to pull back that much. I think that would be absolutely devastating. But yeah, right here. On the larger time frame, we have a massive ABC structure, and then we're currently sitting at an ABC top here. I tried out something different today. I just didn't have any like music that I was like down to share today. So I did put an advertisement on today's stream. We talked about this last time. But I figured, hey, I don't have any music. I mean, I might as well throw an advertisement up there. This is Airwing Marine, which is one of the Tarkov YouTubers I watch. He put this playlist together. So I mean, it's just like background music. It's nothing nothing lyrical. Are you still following a diet? Do you lose weight? I haven't weighed myself recently. I'm gonna guess I'm still sitting around the same, which is a shame. But we will see. Miko, see you, buddy. Check the dash, definitely, Kite. Yeah, I was driving around a little bit today, saying goodbye to my car, just in case I do decide to sell it on Sunday based on what appraisal they give me. Because I mean, like, I love that car a lot, but I just don't think it's worthwhile me having it right now. I think I want to practice what I preach, and I'll have enough time later on to have nice things like that. Oh, got on to a smaller time from here. Oh, it's got a very similar ABC structure lining up here. We're sitting at that local low from the previous ABC structure, so there is strong support here. I could see it. Just have to wait and see. What holiday is it? What's up, Kite? I got wrecked DCA heavily at 29K thinking the Saudis. Why is it always the Saudis, dude? We're buying, but I still DCA now. You think we're going to go lower to 15 to 70K? Me personally, no. Like I said, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it because it would give us a lower entry off of the last recent local low here, make a nice ABC setup. We do have some local low support around 16K, but just based on all the past previous bear markets, I do think we're going to end this one just like the rest with an Adam and Eve structure. And right now we have the Adam, and I would think we're at the bottom of the Eve, you know. So I don't personally at the moment, I don't think we're going to go lower. Bro, you sound so defeated. Keep your head up, sell the car, and be smart this time with the money. That's what it all sounds like to me. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, looking back on it, it was an impulse decision just based off of like, I don't know. I wanted it to be like an FU to like a lot of people that, I don't know, look down on me. But once again, just like with the YouTube channel, it got to a point where I just don't care to impress anybody but myself. And lately, those things don't impress me. So I rather put my time and effort into things that do. So. It's not that I'm defeated, it's just, it's a nice car. I can't deny that part, but Labor Day? When's our next Texas Day Brazil date? Dude, I'm down anytime. Give me an excuse to go there, I'll go. Me, my friend Isaiah and Chris, we all went there a couple weeks ago. And I don't drink, but I got one of those like, like fruity drinks that you would typically call someone unmanly for. And because I just hate drinking, I just went and just sipped it all down. I felt it. That was strong. What happened to your car? Nothing happened to it. I'm probably gonna sell it. I'm fighting to get the urge to get a new car right now. AMG GT53. GT53. Damn. Please share your experience. My thing, like, so I was sitting on a stupid amount of money, and at the time, I made a lot of excuses on why I was buying the vehicle. And like I said, it was mostly to like have other people around me, friends and family, look at me and stop seeing just some dude that sits in his room. Because like if people aren't actively knowing what you're doing, to them you're just a lowlife. So when I bought this car, it changed the perception of the people around me, which after that happened, I realized that it didn't really change anything. And then one, it depreciates heavily. I was looking at, so I bought mine for 80,000. I think I might only get like 50,000 back. So just be honest with yourself whether or not why you're doing it. Because I mean, we tend to just be immediate gratification beings, and trust me, when you get it, it's going to be an amazing feeling, and you're going to rev your engine, you're going to go down the road, you're going to feel like a boss, but it's going to wear off. At least it did for me. And then now you're just casually sitting in a very expensive nice car. It's all for show, man. And I don't know, I just don't feel good. What will be my next car? I have no clue yet, but I guarantee you that when I do, it's going to have a lot more thought put into it. That's all. And it probably won't be like that. Obviously, I want a little bit of zoom so that, when I'm getting onto the highway, I'm not feeling like I'm the slowest car on there. But I don't think I'm going to go for something super fast. Just something nice. Do you wish you would have taken the lease route? Not necessarily. I just wish I would have put more thought into it. Can you show us your trades? Sure. Would I consider a Tesla? Maybe. Maybe in the future. I might just get something cheap for right now. In the meantime, I'm just going to be sharing a car with my sister. Because for a while, she was using my vehicle when she didn't have a car. And now I'm going to kind of give it some time, figure out what I want, what's the best bang for buck. And then I barely leave the house anyways, to be honest with you. That was a good one. I get it after a month with an expensive Mercedes or BMW, you realize you should have bought a Porsche. Nah. I just like I said, I just don't see the point in having something that ridiculously expensive for no reason. Maybe it's just me. I just want to live a simpler life. Like I said, I also look at it like as a reward thing. Like, I don't have my shit together, dude. I'm still sitting around being fat, you know, taking life for granted. Why have something so lavish, you know? I know not everybody holds that opinion. And like I said, it's also just from like a moral standpoint. When you get older, who cares if it tastes good? I'd drink it. Yeah, because I guess at that point, it's not about what it tastes like. It's just about how it can get you to feel. How long have I felt like that? I don't know. It's kind of been building up for maybe like, 2-3 months. In terms of like the car situation. I put a lot down and then the rest of it's financed. Hang outside with some hang outside some strip clubs with your car. Might change your opinion. Because then you just get surrounded by shallow people. And nobody has time for that. Hi, Kite. Too much time? We miss you? Too much time? What do you mean? Too much time apart? I agree. Why don't you rent it? You mean like lease? Because like the lease is like double the payment. Maybe if I go with that in the future when I'm like 40 years old, maybe I might lease if I'm going to get an expensive car like that. But, I feel like a lot of times those super, super expensive cars, really it's depending on like what crowd do you hang around with. And like let's say you're around a whole bunch of business people. You're the one with the broken down car. Then maybe you have to drive something nice to fit in. But I'm just saying that I've never been in the business of fitting in, man. I don't care. TRB USDT on my bit funding rate is out of control. I'm sure it is because I ain't never heard of it. That was TRB. Is this some little poop coin? Oh, that's not terrible for an altcoin. I mean, we've seen like -3. And that thing fell off a cliff, didn't it? 62%. It's only been around for like a month or so, isn't it? That's a little poop coin. Use Turo and rent a Rari, Lambo, Tesla and try them out. And I feel I'm gonna pay for services. How to correctly identify an ABC? That's a hard one. It really just look at the chart itself. Do you see a separation of trend? All right, so right here we have and that's why HA candles are really, really good as well for ABCs. We can see a string of red. You can see we don't really put any higher highs until we break the trend. This was the bottom before we broke the trend. You can see we have an uptrend. We're putting in higher highs. So, I mean, technically you could be looking for higher highs or lower lows to help you identify what is the A, what is the B, what is the C. But sometimes that's not always the case. And then from there, we have downtrend. So this is our ABC. If the market does happen to get back above this level, it's going to be really good for the market. But obviously we're a little bit further away. So you just apply that to a smaller time frame if you are using a smaller time frame or perspective. What's your opinion about smart money concept? I don't know anything about it. I'm pretty sure that is David Tech's indicator. He's in my group. I'm in his group. We've talked before a lot. Like I said, ABC's, I wasn't the one who founded it. So, I mean, if he wants to take what I've built so far off of it and help other people get into it, I applaud it. I just haven't used the indicator myself. I get good entries with the ABC, but the targets and exiting the trade I struggle with. Can you go over your possible fib targets and where you trace them from? So, like I said, there's two different ways that I would play ABCs. Either one, hold on to the trade, and then whenever the hedge trade comes up, you can just hedge it and then wait for either one to work out. Because if you have a short open, and then let's say you shorted here, and then the price got down to here, and you take a long that is a 1-to-1 ratio with the short, you're basically locking in the profits from your short, because whatever money you're in profit here, as the long gains value, it's going to be balancing out the losses of the short, the loss of profit. So then if it does happen to continue up, you can just let it go. Kind of what we were doing over here, I believe. Or you can simply take, so like if this is my ABC structure here, obviously wherever the last local low was, that's where my A started from. So even though this was a very, very choppy structure here, this is how I would have read it. So if we took our short here, you take top to bottom, the entire structure, and then it's up to you whether or not you want to be a little bit more risky or more conservative or somewhere in the middle. You can't go wrong with that. Especially if you're using high risk-reward ratio tactics, you're probably going to be making a decent amount of R&R if you do hit one of these three targets. Obviously, I tend to aim more for the 0.5, 0.382 region, but it's up to you. And that's what we did this time. We took our short up here, and we took our profit, I believe, like right here. How to automate ABC on Bybit. I don't have a way to do that. So for me, it's just, I wake up. If you are struggling a lot, try increasing your stop loss. All right, you're going to be losing a little bit of R&R, but maybe you might be increasing your win ratio, and it balances out the formula once again. But really no easy way in my book. I'm sure someone has set up a bot. I think someone was talking about it in the Discord, but as far as I know, there's just nothing that I can trust. Subway Surfers, what's going on, man?
Alright guys, I'm gonna be heading out of here shortly. I just wanted to say hello, get a little bit more back on track with the streams. Especially get my settings all set back up because it was a mess starting off the stream today. But hey. Trial and error, am I right? Thank you. I exited early on the last short mainly because the last 3 to 4 ABC shorts did not even hit that did not hit even though they went low. You missed some. Alright. I mean, if you were to play the .441 method, which, you know, is what it is, we would have hit some nice back-to-back shorts here. So there's this one right here. Hit the .441 most definitely. There's this one right here. .441. That one I don't think would have hit because they got more and more extended as we went through time here. Like that would have been the new one. That one looks like a .618er. That one hit the 0.5. And then obviously we had the full one after that. So for a little bit more, I'm going to be probably going for the .441 take profit method, especially being on inverse perpetual now. But hey, I think we're close. I think we're close to starting to see a turnaround. I just want to get rid of this chop, man. This is what always kills me. Hate that so much. All right, guys. I appreciate your time. I'll see you soon. I don't know if it's going to be today. I mean, tomorrow, the next day. But I'm going to be streaming a lot more often. And as always, let the market do what it do. It's working slow. It's taking souls. Don't let it take yours. Because now is not the time. Even if you wanted to play it safe and just, you know, take some time off of trading and just DCA in every so often, I want to blame you. But I'm definitely still going to be trading here. Okay, do not take the fib from the swing low to swing high. It seems like your fibs are done the opposite way. Yes, they are. So I'm used to using this Fibonacci retracement tool for my Elliott wave from the past. So in order to get a 1.618 retracement, I have to drag that way if I'm expecting upside, and then the opposite if I'm expecting downside. So my fibs are backwards, but it doesn't make a difference because if we go ahead and we drag the opposite way, you can see that they all line up the same exact way. That is the beauty of Fibonacci's. So my 0.382 would be someone's correct 0.618. My 0.618 would be someone's correct 0.382. In the end, it doesn't matter. You know? It's like, what kind of hill do you want to die on? A hill that looks exactly like yours? Then it ain't special. Where's the fish? Fish is right. Oh, you can't see him. I'll show you the fish. He stinks. All right, guys. I'll check you next time. Yeah, it's just going to be the same music on the outro, so nothing to watch out for in terms of music. I'll try to find some songs to play on the next one. But if not, we're going to just play Air Wing Marine. All right, guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you in the next one.
whenever that might be. Have a great day, great night, eat some good meals. See you guys later, right? Peace out. Oh, wait. We have the camera on. Never mind. All right. Let's do it. Goodbye.